Tom Homan is here, former acting ICE director, Fox Business contributor, Heritage visiting fellow. Tom, I could see your face when you were listening to that.
Well, look, she is so far over her head. It's not funny anymore. When she makes a comment what Governor Abbott is doing is cruel and inhumane. What's cruel and inhumane is what's happening on the border. We got over 1,300 migrants have died on U.S. soil since Joe Biden became president, a record unmatched. Over 100,000 Americans have died from fentanyl overdoses, the fentanyl coming across that open border. 31% of women that make this journey get sexually assaulted by the cartels. That's cruel. That's inhumane, and that's why Governor Abbott's trying to bring attention to it. He's made this national conversation. And as far as the borders are, Kamala Harris, if she's really looking for the root causes of this, all she had to do is walk less than 200 yards and talk to the same man Griff talked to, and she'll find out the root causes is Biden's open borders policy. That's what's causing this surge.
And I'll say it again, Tom, this administration has intentionally laid the foundation for human traffickers and drug traffickers to profit from human misery and suffering. And I've noticed today that there's one California school district, Santa Clara County, is adding Narcan to high schools countywide to combat the growing threat of opioids, fentanyl disguised as candy or Percocets purchased wherever, but there's Narcan in those across the county now. And why do you think that is? It's because of the open border. All of this goes back to the policies of this administration, period.
And the White House spokesman, to make the comment that really just irks me, irritates me, when she says they inherited a broken immigration system. What they inherited was the most secure border in this nation's history. President Trump was a game changer. Illegal immigration down to a 40-year low. Illegal immigration decreased by 83%. They inherited the most secure border in my lifetime, and they dismantled it. They broke it. So, all you got to do is compare the numbers. There wasn't 100,000 Americans dying from fentanyl in 1 year when President Trump was president. And when you have illegal immigration down 83%, how many of those women aren't being sexually assaulted? How many Americans aren't dying? How many migrants aren't dying? President Trump did his job. This president is the first president in the history of this nation who came into office and unsecured a border, which has created a national security crisis. It created a national health crisis. It's created a national criminal crisis. This administration just continues to lie. Politicians stretch the truth, but I've never seen a president, a vice president, a secretary of Homeland Security every day get on national TV and lie to the American people.
Right. He started out, he ran on being President empathy, and then it was apathy, and now it's antipathy. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about any of these people who are suffering. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. I want to get to this because this is the new messaging, Tom, that you're starting to hear. Again, there will be this one magic word that comes up, and then all of a sudden, Democrats here, there, and everywhere are using it. This is a Democrat Senator Bob Menendez weighing in on busing migrants. It's outrageous. They lure people like human traffickers onto buses and unknowing where they're going to. They supposedly are the advocates for human life. They have no concern for the lives of these people. That word trafficking has started coming up over and over again. And let me just fact check that lie. Bill Melugin has reported these individuals, the trafficking is how the people get into this country, but they know where they're going when they choose to get on those buses, and they have to sign a waiver acknowledging that they understand where they're going and how they're getting there, Tom. That's an outright lie, what Senator Menendez is saying.
Yeah, where was Senator Menendez when this administration has flown to cities all over the country, bused to cities all over the country, 1.7 illegal aliens in the last 2 years? Where is he on that? Who lured them? Was it President Biden with Secretary Mayorkas? The only lure is he promised to not be detained, promise not be deported, a promise of future amnesty, a promise of getting rid of ICE detention. The promises of this administration, including free health care, is what lures people across this border. Open borders causes the most vulnerable people to put themselves in harm's way to get to the greatest nation on earth. So you can't call out these Republican governors when you didn't say squat about the over 1 million people that they bust in the middle of the night or flown to our cities in the middle of the night. Not a word from any of these people until a Republican governor does it.
And before we go, the 50 illegal migrants who were flown to Martha's Vineyard, that is being called by Martha's Vineyard a humanitarian crisis. And there's video of one resident saying at some point they've got to move. We don't have the services for these 50 people. How xenophobic is that?
Take a trip down the southern border. Take a trip down the southern border if you want to see a crisis, if you want to see inhumanity, if you want to see people dying, go down the southern border. That's the problem. We got to stop it there. So people in these cities can't be calling out this, these governors for acting cruelly or acting inhumanely. The inhumanities on the southern border, and Joe Biden owns it, and Secretary Mayorkas owns it because he hasn't done a damn thing to slow the flow. Everything he's done is about getting people processed quickly and released into the United States quickly. He has failed his job. Day one we take back Congress, he needs to be impeached.
Tom Homan, thank you so much for being here. Great to see you.